Are you in the sports performance, coaching, health and fitness field? Do you want to improve the impact you can have with your athletes and clients? If so, you are in the right place. In this video, I'm going to share what I think the biggest problem is in this field and how to fix it. Hopefully this video will change your perspective and allow you to more effectively do your job. First, I'll create context for this problem and solution. Then I'll say the actual problem. I'll compare and contrast the different fields. I'll create an analogy to help illustrate my point, and then finally I'll give you the solution on how to fix it. First, if you want to stay up to date with my content, please subscribe, please like the video if you like the video, and comment down below for feedback and what you want to see next. So first, context. What jobs am I talking about? Strength and conditioning coach, sports performance coach, nutritionist, athletic trainer, personal trainer, anything along those lines. And this is an athlete and client-based field. And what is the goal of our jobs? Is to influence and facilitate change in whatever aspects it may be relative to our jobs. Exercise habits, performance-specific habits, nutrition habits, and anything along those lines. So that's what we do. So here's the problem. Everyone has been there, done that in some way, shape, or form relative to your job. Everyone eats, sleeps, works out, trains/plays that specific sport. So everyone is going to have some familiarity with what you are trying to do with them. And why this is an issue is because this is going to create some preconceived biases, whether it's conscious, unconscious, active, passive, about what they like and what they think is most effective. Now, not that this is necessarily intentional, but like I said, they're familiar. They know what's required out of them, what they have to do, and consequently what they're gonna get, and if it's valid and effective. So this is consequently an issue, like I said, because they might be a little bit more resistant to the efforts you're trying to make. Because if we're trying to influence and facilitate change, but people already have an idea of what they like, don't like, what works, and what might not work, then they might be a little bit more resistant and cause some more issues for you as a practitioner. Let's compare and contrast with different fields to create a little bit more context. So let's use a dentist or mechanic. So let's say you're going in for your semi-annual dentist appointment and you're in the chair, all ready to go, and you ask the dentist, hey, what's the plan for today? They say, oh, I have all my tools laid out and all the fancy names for the tools, he says, and this is my procedures. I'm gonna do this protocol, that name, I don't even know what it means. And then if I run into this problem, I'm gonna do A, and if I run into that problem, I'm gonna do B, and then overall, this is kind of what it looks like, and this is my thought process, and just lays out the whole thing. Are you really going to have any objections or think that you could do it any better? Probably not, because you've never cleaned teeth before. You've never been a dentist. You haven't gone to dentistry school and things along those lines. Now, let's say you're going to get your car serviced at the shop. Same thing, you ask the mechanic what his thought process is, what he's gonna do. He lays out all the tools, all of the problems, he explains how an engine works, and chances are you're just gonna believe him because you've never worked on cars before. You don't know what that stuff means. And it's not to say that you should necessarily discredit what they're saying and always doubt them, but at some point in time, you're just gonna believe what they're saying as the relative expert because you don't really have a basis for disagreeing. You don't know what should be done better and things along those lines. To finish this example, let's say I got to dentistry school for a semester and then dropped out. Or let's say my dad was really into cars and growing up, I was always around him, listening to what he was doing to the cars himself. So only then would I feel comfortable and at least be able to kind of understand what the dentist and the mechanic were saying in the previous example before. And then I would be able to create conversations, I would be able to pick their brains a little bit more, and I would be able to potentially object to what they're trying to do. Here's an analogy. So let's say you're going to your favorite restaurant, right? You know your order, what you've always gotten. Bacon cheeseburger with sweet potato fries and a chocolate milkshake, which definitely doesn't sound like something I would order. But you put in your order, you're with your family and friends, there's just an excitement of this amazing food you guys are about to get. And then the waiter comes out, brings the food, and he says, sir, I changed your order. I'm giving you a tofu burger with a kale salad and an unsweetened tea. What the heck? No, that's not what I ordered. That's not what I like. That's not what I've always gotten. And the waiter says, well, I know your goals. You discussed them with me earlier. I know you want to, for example, let's say, lose weight, become healthier, improve some of your blood profiles, whatever. Yeah, it's in line with my goals, and that probably would be the best choice for my order for that restaurant. But that's not what I want. That's not what I'm familiar with. I've never gotten that order before. That's not my specific example. Gotta give credit where credit's due. I think I got that from the Strength Experts Instagram Live, if I'm not mistaken. To bring this analogy full circle, your athlete or client is me ordering the burger, and you are the waiter at that restaurant. And tying this into our bigger example, you can see how having preconceived biases on what they like, what they know is going to taste good, and things along those lines can affect how you do your job as the resident expert. So how do we fix this problem? First, you have to understand and accept that people are going to have these preconceived biases. People are going to be at least somewhat familiar in what you are trying to do as a practitioner. And consequently, you have to be sympathetic and just understand, or try to understand, put yourself in their shoes and where they're coming from. And not to get frustrated because they don't get it. Consequently, if they got it, they wouldn't need you. So that's where you come in as the resident expert to help bridge the gap between what they want to order at the restaurant and what they really need to accomplish their goals. Understanding it's an athlete and client-based field, you have to do what's best for them and solving their problems. One thing you can ask yourself is, are you putting your solution and what you want to do to their problem, or are you working with them to create solutions to solve their problems? And this is an important distinction to make, because whether this is a direct or indirect ego thing, that we are the resident expert, they're coming to us in this specific context, are we promoting what we want to promote, what we know works, what might work for us specifically individually, or are we working with them to create solutions that's best for them for their problems? I know it's cliche and relatively simple, but if everyone understood this, I wouldn't be making this video and you wouldn't be watching it. So here's what you can do to help solve this issue is be compassionate and just understand that it's going to be an emotional thing for your athlete / client, whether they know it or not, just due to their prior familiarity to whatever it is you're trying to do as a practitioner. And what you can ask yourself is, what is the best way to solve their problem relative to where they've been, relative to where they are at now, relative to where they want to go, relative to what you do as a professional. Let me know what you think, and if that helps you as a practitioner. And as always, you can get all the gear I use from Amazon below in the description, as well as the music I use for my videos from Epidemic Sounds.